right, we're back again with another episode of Roofer Reflections, and we're really happy to have Stuart on. So, Stuart, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, Tats.
I know you have a long history in roofing. How did it start for you?
Through college, actually, I worked summers working for one roofing company in particular, actually slinging shingles. That company did strictly residential work, and I learned how to shingle. I mostly learned how to carry shingles for the first summer. They put you through the ringers to make sure you cut the right cloth.
You're going to law school. What was the original plan?
So I wanted to get into construction law. I had always been very interested in so many different aspects of construction. My father was a civil engineer, always tinkering, always building something. Just from childhood, actually, I remember more than anything, all the men that would come to the house and build the additions. Grew up in an old home, pre-Civil War home, and as we grew as a family, we put new additions on, and I was always, right underneath them. And I imagined that I wanted to be involved in construction, even though law piqued my interest there for a while.
Yeah. At what point did you decide that, the law portion wasn't for you and entrepreneurship was the path forward?
When business really started taking off. So I opened the business as a second year law student. And I knew that, first of all, I loved it. I always enjoyed it, even in the summers when I finally got off of the carrying crew and graduated to be the roof removal guy, and then eventually being trained how to put the roofs on. It just felt great, loving going home at the end of the day, being productive and what have you. And it just stuck with me. And throughout law school, I dabbled in it. I had taken on some small jobs on my own outside of my place of employment at that time. And it just felt like a natural. And law just although I finished, it kind of just waned as the business really started to excel.
Yeah. So what do you attribute the business taking off to?
There are some real reasons for it, and I try to mentor people today when they ask me, but I think it's some real basic stuff that people overlook, and it's really about integrity. It really is. It's about giving the people what you tell them you're going to give them. It's about taking it on the chin when you estimate wrong, or you ruin the material on your own, or whatever it is. Take the losses and appreciate that you had that, the opportunity, and build off of it for the next time. That's pretty much the key to business, if you ask me.
And what are some of the, like you mentioned the ups, but what's some of the downs you had to, endure?
As any roofer will tell you, you're really only as good as your labor force. And so it's always difficult to find those guys. We have a hell of a family now. But it takes time, to even as a young entrepreneur, to understand how every single person is such an important cog in your wheel, and that they each individually need your attention. But we've lost some great guys. That's been tough early on. What makes it tough? There are always some tough customers out there. Everyone can attest to that, and it's cold winters and hot summers on the roof. It really is not for the light of heart.
What other things sort of advice that you pass on that people are considering the roofing industry as a career or a venture?
Listen, it could be phenomenal. You've a lot of hard work, like anything, if you really want to reach the top, and anybody could. A lot of years. I didn't get here quickly. So you got to be ready for the journey. Being an entrepreneur, let's say, probably, and having that spirit, if you have that, you could succeed at anything. There are a lot of people out there that are happy working on their own or working for someone else. It definitely takes a different breed, and the roofing business is fierce at times, highly competitive. You've got plenty of regulations to worry about. So you got to really be in 100% from the beginning.
Great. Is there anything I did not ask you, but you wanted to share?
No, I think you've asked some pretty good questions, and I like to share with the roofing industry. If I could be of any assistance, people should look me up.